What if you have a passion for disciple making, but you're in a church that isn't making disciples? Hi, I'm Darren Ride from 12 Church. 12 Church is about going all in on mission with Jesus, doing whatever it takes to be disciples who make disciples. We build groups and clusters of groups that are on mission together, encouraging each other, challenging each other, praying for each other as we seek to reach our friends. But what if you find yourself in a church, perhaps even leading a church, that doesn't share your passion for being a disciple who makes disciples? What if you want to change that? Well, first, the bad news. It won't be easy. Every organization and every church is optimized for something. And most churches are optimized for the delivery of weekend events, the services. And the majority of the time and energy and finances is focused on that weekend event that often is not very effective or efficient in making disciples. It's what congregants expect, and these expectations are hardwired into the tradition of the church. Changing what a church is optimized for is a major undertaking. And to add to the challenge, most pastors are under-equipped in leadership, and leading intentional change is one of the greatest challenges in leadership. And that's exactly what's called for if you find yourself in a church that is optimized for something and doing something besides effectively making disciples who make more disciples. Depending on the severity of the chasm you need to cross to implement this change, you may find yourself needing to dismantle and reinvent everything about the church and really everything about your life and your ministry. And both the parable of the wineskins as told by Jesus and modern innovation theory explaining how change happens indicate that this doesn't always go well. But there is some good news. What the Lord calls you to, He equips you for. And He has called you to be a disciple who makes disciples. And He will equip you to do that and to be a catalyst to bring others with you. In the Great Commission in Matthew chapter 28, Jesus reminded His disciples who He was, that He is the one to whom all authority had been given. Then He called them to go and make disciples and gave the promise that He, the one who had all authority, would be present with them in that mission. My book, DNA of a Christ Follower, was an attempt to explain the what of disciple making. What exactly is a disciple? It's really important if you're going to be making disciples, being a disciple, you're clear on what the target is. 12 Church seeks to answer the how. How do we make disciples effectively and efficiently in this time and this place? And how do we adapt to the changing times and the changing places we find ourselves? And by the way, just as an aside, if you intend to go down this path of being a catalyst for change when it comes to disciple making, I encourage you to grab a book called Leading Change by John Cotter that explains how change actually happens in an organization. You can find links both to Leading Change and DNA of a Christ Follower in the video description below. Also a link to the 12 Church site. As well, there's actually a link to simply download the final chapter of DNA of a Christ Follower that explains what needs to happen in a church to move towards this intentional disciple making. Again, if you are a disciple of Jesus Christ who wants to make disciples, you're not alone. Your heart is aligned with the heart of Jesus. So press forward boldly, following Jesus, inviting others to join with you. What's the biggest challenge you face in being a disciple who makes disciples, or leading others to be disciples who make disciples? Please consider answering that question in the comments down below. And if there's anything we can do at 12 Church to help you out, to resource you, please don't hesitate to contact us. That's a big part of what we're about. God bless. Press on.